Good morning students. Welcome to chemistry class. This video is for class 8. Students, we have learned some of the topics of the chapter 1 and some topics were left. In today's video we will discuss the rest of the topics. Let's proceed. Now our topic is change of state of matter. The change of substance from one physical state to another is known as change of state. Note: change of state of any substance depends upon the motion of its molecules and the force which holds the molecules together. So, terms related to change of state of matter. The first is boiling. What is boiling? The process of change of a liquid into its gaseous state at a fixed temperature is called boiling, and it is a bulk phenomenon. What do you mean by bulk phenomenon? Means it occurs in whole liquid. So boiling occurs in whole liquid. Okay, so that's why it is a bulk phenomenon. So it is the process of change of liquid into the gaseous state. Now next topic is condensation. So what is condensation? The process of change of a gas into its liquid state is called condensation. Now next topic is evaporation. The process of change of a liquid into its gaseous state at any temperature. It is a surface phenomenon. Means evaporation occurs at any temperature and it occurs only on the surface water. So it is a surface phenomenon, and at any temperature the liquid changes into gaseous state. Whether it is a room temperature or whether you put the liquid in sun, evaporation occurs. So it is a surface phenomenon. Next is freezing. Freezing is also known as solidification. So what is freezing? The process of change of a liquid into its solid state on cooling is called freezing. Next is melting. Melting is also known as fusion. So the process of change of a solid into its liquid state at a fixed temperature is called melting. The next is sublimation. So what is sublimation? The process of change of a solid to its gaseous state directly without changing into a liquid state is known as sublimation. Means in sublimation the liquid, the solid directly changes to gaseous state without changing into liquid state. So remember that in sublimation solid directly changes to gaseous state. Like camphor is the example. When camphor we will heat, so it directly changes to gaseous state. It does not convert to the liquid state. So this is called sublimation. This process is known as sublimation, where the solid changes into its gaseous state without changing into liquid state. And deposition is just opposite of sublimation. In deposition process, the substance changes from gaseous state to its solid state without changing into a liquid state. Means when we will cool the gaseous state of any of the substance, it will convert to the solid state directly. It will not go to the liquid state. It will not change to the liquid state. That's why the process where the gaseous state changes into solid state is known as deposition. So here 3 states of matter are written: solid, liquid and gas. So now here arrows are mentioned. So the red one arrows shows solid changes into liquid. Here again the red one arrow shows liquid changes to gas. And here the red one arrow shows that solid changes to gas. So what we call the process when solid changes to liquid? That is called fusion. Means melting. When we heat any of the solid, it melts to form the liquid. It changes into liquid. This process is called fusion or melting. When we heat any of the liquid, so it changes to gaseous state. This process is called vaporization, evaporation. Okay. And when solid is heated and it directly changes to gaseous state without going to the liquid state. So direct change of solid into gaseous state is called sublimation. Now what are the reverse of it? When liquid changes to solid, that is called solidification or freezing. Again, when gas changes to liquid, it is called condensation. And again, when gas directly changes to solid without going or without changing into liquid state, this is called deposition. So this is a easier diagram to understand these definitions, these terms, and this all include in the interconversion of state of matter. Now our next topic is law of conservation of mass. So what is this law of conservation of mass? The law of conservation of mass states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. The mass of a substance remains the same during a change. That means the total mass during a chemical change or a chemical reaction remains constant. In other words, mass of reactants at the start of a chemical reaction will be equal to the mass of the products at the end of the chemical reaction. So we can say that total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the products. So what does it mean that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed? Let's see the example. Now this is the example. On burning magnesium ribbon in air, magnesium oxide is formed. In this case, we compare the total mass of the reactants and the products, which comes out to be equal. Now this is the reaction. 2 Mg plus O2 gives, on heating, 2 MgO. So this is magnesium, this is oxygen, and this is magnesium oxide. And this heat means when magnesium burns in presence of oxygen, magnesium oxide is formed. So for this we should know the atomic masses. Magnesium atomic mass is 24 and oxygen atomic mass is 16. So here we can see that there are 2 atoms of magnesium. So 2 multiplied 24, because the mass of one atom of magnesium is 24. So here 2 multiplied by 24 plus here again 2 atoms of oxygen. So we will write 2 into 16. So here the mass will be 2 into 16 is equals to that 2 MgO. So here MgO mass first we will obtain. So here in MgO, 1 Mg atom and 1 oxygen atom. So in bracket we will write their masses. So here we have written 24 for magnesium atom plus 16 for oxygen atom, and then multiplied by 2, because these are 2 molecules of this compound. Now here what we will obtain after multiplying it? 48, and after multiplying this we will get 32. Now that after adding this we will get 40, and when 40 multiplied by 2 or when 48 added to 32, then what we will get? 80. So here we can see that the reactant, these are reactants, Mg and oxygen, magnesium and oxygen are reactants, and after the reaction what we will get? We got magnesium oxide. So this is the product. So the mass of the reactant we found equal to the mass of the product. So that here it is written that total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of the product, and this is the law of conservation of mass. Whatever the reactants we have taken, their mass is equal to the mass of the product what we obtained after the reaction. Now let's see the activity 1.1. What is the aim of the activity? To observe change when ice melts. So material requires a glass beaker, some ice cubes, thermometer. Procedure: take some ice cubes in a glass beaker. Note the temperature of the ice every minute using a thermometer. Now draw a temperature time graph on a graph paper and note your observation in a table. So what you will observe? You will observe as the temperature increases, the ice starts to melt and eventually changes into liquid. So this is the setup for the apparatus, and this is very easy and simple activity you can do at home also. And you must have seen this activity when you have taken some of the ice cubes in a glass. So after some time you have seen that the ice melts into water. So this is all about this melting process. So hope you have understood. Now this is activity 1.2. The aim of the activity is to show that the total mass remains same during a physical change. So here the material required are an ice cube, sealable plastic bag, measuring scale. So what is the procedure? Take a sealable plastic bag and keep an ice cube in it. Measure the mass of the ice cube and the plastic bag. Keep the bag aside and wait until the ice cube melts. Measure the mass of the plastic bag again when the ice has melted. Compare the mass of the plastic bag with ice cube in it, and when the ice cube has melted, record your observation. So what you will observe? You will observe that the ice cube changes its form from solid to liquid, but there is no change of mass involved. Conclusion. Hence, it can be concluded that substances change their forms during a physical change, but the total mass remains constant. So this is all about also melting process, but the experiment is different. So here you have to take the sealable bag and you have to keep the ice cubes in it, and you have to weigh the bag with ice cube, and you have to keep it aside, and you have to wait until the ice cubes melts. When the ice cubes melts, again you have to wait again you have to weigh the plastic bag, and you have to measure the mass, and after measuring the mass, you will see that the ice cube mass and the water mass remains constant with the bag. So this experiment shows the law of conservation of mass. Now this is activity 1.3. This also shows that the mass of the reactant is equals to mass of the product. And this activity 1.4, this is also shows the same thing. So this activity 1.4 we will do when the school will reopen. So these two activities you read at home and understand the concept. Now the time for assignment, students. So this is page number 3 of the new book, and here you can see take a break. So here these 5 fill-ups you have to do in the book only. This is page number 5, and here it is given take a break, true and false. So these true and false also you have to do in the book only. Now this is page number 9, and here also take a break, fill in the blank. So these 3 fill-ups you have to do in the book only. On page number 10 also 2 more fill-ups are given. This is this. So total 5 are given. So this you have to do in the book only. And these terms to know you have to learn. Now come to the main exercise. So this is the exercise of your book. A, fill-ups are given. B, find the error and write the correct word. C, match the column. Then short and precise. A part you have to draw the flow charts. B part you have to give reasons. You have to give the reasons. And C, short answers. There are 5 short answers. Then at length. So this is differentiate between. 3 differentiates are given. Then B, read the following paragraph, identify the incorrect parts. So this you have to do in the book. These give reason, flowchart, give reason, short answers you have to do in the copy. Differentiate you have to do in the copy, and these long answers you have to mark in the book. Only few I think you have to write, that I will tell you which one. But you find these answers also. Now this is observe and perform. This also you have to find the answer. There are 2 questions of observe and perform, A part, and this is B part. So this both 2 questions you have to find answers. Then on page number 14 you can see this review your learning. A part 1 word answers, B part true and false, C explain the following terms, and D answer the following questions. So all these you have to find the answers. C and D part this is same from these questions. So you can leave these 2 questions. Only A and B you have to do in the book. Okay students, hope you have understood the chapter. Now your chapter is finished, your chapter is completed, and you find these answers of the exercise, and hope you have understood the concept which I told you. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.